What up, what up, what up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. We're going to do a little open fan panel tonight, talk about day 2 and day 3 of training camp and all the other Dolphin news going around. Sorry, I've been absent the last couple days. Work. You know how it is. I try to be here as consistently as possible. I do apologize about that. Obviously, my lighting's not the greatest with this screen I got going on. But how's everybody doing tonight? Friday night. Thanks for joining me. A lot of big news surrounding these Miami Dolphins, folks. A lot of big news. Also, I got some important news as far as the channel's concerned. I've had to make a decision that at this point I don't really know what other choice I have. I've spent a lot of time and effort in building this channel. But it looks like that I'm going to have to start from scratch. I'm going to have to create a new channel because YouTube has something against this channel. They keep denying me monetization. And, you know, that's the end goal after all. I'd love to be able to be monetized and continue to grow, but I just don't see what I've done wrong with the channel. I don't see what's wrong with the content. So it's going to be a pain, and, you know, I'm going to lose a lot of subscribers in the process, almost to 800. But at this point, I don't know what else I can do. YouTube just keeps giving me the business. But if y'all would like to join the show, talk some Dolphins football, I'd love to hear from you. A lot of things going on from day 2 and day 3 of training camp. Christian Wilkins being released from the Las Vegas Raiders. That's huge. Could return to Miami be in the cards. What's the team looking like? Problems with the offensive line still. Cap for life in the building. Let's go. What up, Cat?
Yo, Big C, what they do?
Who's that?
Yo.
What up?
Chilling, bro. Over here watching. I've been binge watching Game of Thrones for the past 2 weeks, bro. I had to take a break, bro.
Great show. I've watched it a couple times.
Oh, bro, I'm at the Battle of the Bastards right now, bro. It's excellent. It's excellent.
It's your first time watching it?
Yeah, bro. It's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had time to watch it, bro. But wow, bro.
To be honest, I started to watch it years ago, and they had the first scene. Well, I don't know if it was the first episode, but where they were doing the incest stuff. So I was like, you know.
Yeah, I mean? they lost. That's where they lost me. When the dude fell off and spoiler alert, it's been freaking 10 years, whatever. That dude, when the dude pushed the kid, that's when I lost after the guy went, when the brother went for a trial, and they were supposed to have a battle for him or something like that.
Yeah, but I gave it a chance years later, and it was phenomenal. Lewis, what's up, brother? Yeah. What's up? Join up in this chat. So I'm gonna have to start the channel over. I'm very disappointed. I'm gonna lose a lot of subs, a lot of hard work. You know what I mean? But I don't know what else to do at this point.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, YouTube just keeps denying me monetization, and I don't understand why.
Bro, you're almost there. Bro, I'm telling you right now, by the time the season comes, bro, you're gonna see it's gonna be like a tsunami wave.
It's not about my subs and stuff. It's about, like, at 3,000 watch hours and 500 subs, you can apply to be monetized as far as memberships go, as far as super chats go, and they deny me. They say I don't follow YouTube policies.
That what? What's the policy? I mean, you haven't done anything. You haven't gotten striked or anything.
Monetization policies I don't follow, and I don't know
Yeah,
what I'm doing wrong.
but if you get 1,000 subs, you automatically get monetized.
Now you still gotta apply.
I thought you get. I thought it was automatic. It used to be like that back in the day.
Nah, you gotta still apply.
What?
Yeah. So I deleted all my videos, reapplied, and they still denied me, and I don't know what
So
else
you
I can
you
do.
deleted your whole library
Nope.
just to cater to them, and they told you no anyway.
Yep.
Wow, bro. Yeah, bro. They did my homeboy, Be Real, bro. They did him bad too, bro. On the Dr. Green Thumb show, bro. They tried to ban him too, bro, for trying
So
to plug smoking herb in a legal state. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like everybody's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, but now they're cracking down. You know what I mean? So I guess they're doing it to everybody now.
well, I mean, I don't do that on here. I don't swear very often. I mean, once
I
in a
know you
while,
barely do
you know what I
anything, bro.
mean?
You're borderline PG at that.
I mean, I don't show a lot of videos on here because I got hit with the copyright the one time. You know what I mean? Like, I just basically get on here and talk football with you guys, and that was the whole point of my channel. In the first place.
Don't tell me, bro. I hope YouTube doesn't start becoming booth tube, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've asked everybody. I'm trying to even purchase a channel. Like, if someone already got one that with 1,000 subs that's monetized, I'll purchase it. I tried to talk. I mean, you're not supposed to legally do it, but I mean, people do it. All right, so let me get your thoughts. Day 2 of training camp, seeing I've heard the defense is dominating down there. Cater Kohu playing like a corner one first couple days of camp, wearing the orange jersey. The corner room holding their own for the most part, from what I'm hearing. Tua being Tua, completing the short passes, of course. He hasn't attempted any passes over 20 yards, but for the passes that he does attempt, he's sharp. Tyreek getting the cold shoulder. 3 passes in 2 days of on-field work. Tua having the press conference, admitting that there is a problem, that Tyreek can't just fix it by, my bad guys, that there is some animosity there between Tua and Tyreek and some of the other teammates. But we all knew that. Day 3, seeing Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers really perform well. Ollie Gordon with putting the ball on the ground, that's a no-no.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Willie Gay Jr. I really feel like, and I've said it before, I feel like he's going to be a starter sooner rather than later. He brings such energy. He's winning personality, winning mentality, just so much energy to this defense. Zach Sealer, the contract's still up in the air. Obviously he's underpaid. Will Miami do something to rectify the issues with that? Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, full goes at practice. That's good news for this defense. The offensive line, though, still in shambles. We knew this offensive line had no depth. Then with Liam Eichenberg going out for multiple weeks, not that he's a great lineman, but he was probably our best backup lineman. What are the Dolphins going to do? Are they going to? Is Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, the Miami Dolphins going to make a move to try to be competitive this year? Or are they just going to go out there with the same? Because offensive line gets hurt. They get hurt. It's inevitable. Are they not going to bring no depth to this team? Isaiah Wynn's just a phone call away. You know what I mean? Like, why is the depth on this team not being addressed?
I mean, okay, where do we begin? I mean,
yeah, I threw a lot of info out there right there.
No. I mean, offensive line. Let's just start there. I mean, they're getting bodies in there in that position, so that's a depth aspect that we're looking at that's being taken care of. which we were all worried about. So that's one. So I don't think Greer's done in that aspect either with depth. I mean, I think we have to at this point. Corners, there, it is what it is. Guys are dropping, but he's still taking flyers. So as far as the defense, what you were talking about, them stepping up, what I'm saying, that could be, a good sign of depth as well when it comes to Weaver and what he's trying to instill with that front line. You know what I mean? Like if they're getting pressure or whatever they're doing right now, even though there's no pads on, they're still making some noise. So that's good as far as depth on that side too. So, as far as everything else that we're hearing, man, I mean, it's par for the course with Tyreek. It's just put up or shut up at this point. Ali, I didn't know that, but that's something that needs to be taken care of because, Wright was doing the same thing, I think. And, we had Raheem at one point doing the same thing. So the big guys need to hold on to the ball.
Well, they're not even got, they don't even got the pads on yet. You know what I mean? Like you're fumbling.
Yeah, that's kind of, I'd rather see it now than later type of deal, but I'd rather not see it at all.
But you're not even really getting hit yet, fumbling the ball. You know what I mean? Like, shoot.
Yeah. Like, you gotta figure that stuff out now, man. Like, if you gotta grip it differently. But that's up to the coaches, and the coaches need to step up too and take care of those little type of tendencies, and cadences that people show now. Because if we get exploited during a real game, forget about it, bro. Then we'll have more tells than we're already showing. Yeah, man. I mean, what else? As far as Ewers, and we're not hearing a lot about Wilson. I mean, we heard about some yesterday. He would look good, but I think it's exciting to hear that. You know what I mean? We're getting a lot of more reps from those two guys as opposed to Tua.
Well, it's exciting that they're putting the ball on the money at least. In case
man, that pass looked beautiful, man.
You can have your opinions on Tua, but chances are Tua's gonna miss sometime at some point during the season. Hopefully that's not the case, but there's a good chance that, I mean, if you go by history, I mean, there's a good chance that Tua's gonna miss some time. So it's very positive that we have some backup quarterbacks, and I think besides Ryan Fitzpatrick, these are the best backups that Miami has had behind Tua. Would you agree?
No, we were talking about that today on Pete's channel, man, and shout out to all the content creators already, man. Blitz Pickup, Phins Tailgate, Pete's Takes, Bobby Phins Talk, and everybody out there, and DolphinsTalk.com, man. We're getting it real quick these past couple of days. It's not even 2 weeks, man, but we're getting a lot of stuff, man. We're getting a lot of stuff, and yeah, bro, I want to see more of like the Decatur, showing pressure. I mean, he's getting orange jerseys there. I'm hearing the Storm Duck, is looking good out there too. So, we got to give the secondary a shot, man, before we bury him, man. It's good to hear that, and that's one thing that we were complaining about. So, I'm not gonna crap on Greer yet. I'm not gonna crap on Greer yet because we've been doing it forever. But I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we need some depth. There's some guys out there that can probably help us. Storm Duck, he's looked improved from what I'm hearing. Cater's looked good the first couple days. If Afanu can get back, our strong safety, free safety that we picked up from the Lions, he's a good cover guy. He has experience at corner. We could plug him in at the slot, but that's Rasul Douglas.
If he's getting the push, that's what I'm hearing down here.
Rasul Douglas, I'm not on board with bringing him in. I don't think he's probably any better at this point than Storm Duck and Cater are. If we're gonna make a move, I'd like to see us get something of some relevance. Asante Samuel Jr., he doesn't do it for me neither. That neck injury is just asking for some kind of injury settlement at the end of the day. I think if we try to get a corner, we got to make a trade for one. As far as the offensive line, there's no reason that Isaiah Wynn is not in the building. There's no reason why. Yeah, Isaiah Wynn can't stay healthy for 17 games, but we don't need him to stay healthy for 17 games. We need him to stay healthy for 7-8 games. You know what I mean? And not necessarily even in a row. We just need him to be available in a backup role.
Well, my thing is about him. I mean, he was the flavor of the month, or the past season and a half, and that was because we were getting dealt with what we had available in free agency, and we got him. My thing is, there's a new crop of guys out there that are like I would think the equivalent of Isaiah right now. We haven't even seen. We haven't given a shot. But these two guys we picked up, let's see what they have. But at one point in time, Isaiah Wynn was in the same scenario these guys were, and then we end up keeping him. So
but Isaiah Wynn, he knows he knows the system. He's overperformed what we thought he was going to perform. So I definitely think. What's that?
Wasn't he with New England at one point?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's been bounced around here and there,
drafted by New England, I believe.
Yeah, but I'm hearing the majority of the guys we're picking up now. This other guy's been a starter for the Niners almost, I think, more than 5 years.
Yeah.
So what I mean, it's just I get what the infatuation with Wynn because he was available and he was the best available position of need at the time, but we got a crop of new free agent guys out there that I think are a little bit better that don't have that much of an injury concern history.
Yeah, I just don't. You could bring him in, and you're not going to guarantee much of the contract, if any. He's probably not even going to count against the salary cap because only the top 52 salaries count against the salary cap. It's just a no-brainer to me to bring him in the building. What does it hurt? There's only positives. You know what I mean? Make sure you hit that like button, share, join the show. The link is in the comments. I'll keep throwing it up periodically, but join the show. Give me your thoughts. Let's go.
Oh, crap. You know what, man? Let me send the link out on X. I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, so it's very promising what we're hearing out of the first couple training days of training camp about this defense. Phillips said his conference, his presser, that he feels like Chop Robinson's going to be one of the best defensive players in the league, for a future defensive player of the year candidate. That is so promising to hear. Kenneth Grant talking about battling Jonah day in and day out. Iron sharpens iron. That's super exciting to hear. Talking about them having a competition. Who's the first one in the building? Who's out? I was big on saying that this culture couldn't change under the current regime. I didn't think that the culture could really change under Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, and Tua was still here. But the first 3 days of camp is starting to make me question that. It's making me question that because from what I'm hearing, people are going about their business in a different way. And it makes me super, super excited. Yeah, Cosa Nostra, that's what I'm getting is that, you obviously the beat writers aren't allowed to say that, but yeah, they're talking about Jonah being on the same side as Patrick Paul, that could end up being a dangerous game. But if Jonah's way more comfortable on the left side and Daniels is way more comfortable on the right side, put these guys in the best position possible to succeed. You know what I mean? Let them go. Give them a shot.
My thing is, we heard at one point in time in the draft, when they were interviewing the process with Jonah and asking him as far as being comfortable shifting back and forth, left and right. And he even said it. He's done it. He just has to get used to doing it again. But if that's, a sign of versatility for us to have him on the left to help, with Pat, I mean, that would be another, no brainer for me, man. You can rotate him, do other things too. If worse comes to worse with injuries. So yeah, let him if he wants to do it, let him do it, man, because we're going to need it.
Costa Nostra said potential to be greater than Webb and Sims. I wouldn't jump out the window that far, my brother, but that was a pretty
We don't
deadly
know.
duel.
We don't know. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
He's
yeah. I
wrong.
mean,
We don't know.
it's early. It's early to be calling them. You know, what I mean, those two guys are all-time great Dolphin offensive linemen. That was a tremendous left side when them guys were protecting Danny's blind side.
Yeah, but the rules were different too.
Yeah, it was a rougher game though, bro. It was a rougher game. You were actually allowed to hit the freaking quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Keith Sims was a great guard.
Oh, they were both great.
Costa Nostra said Sims was a liability.
How?
Yeah, I don't know how. Keith Sims was tremendous in my opinion.
I mean, he doesn't have a gold jacket, but I mean, he has all the recognition that comes with being there. Both guys go hand in hand, just like the Marx brothers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
Irving, what's up, brother? What's up?
What's good, Irving? Get up here, bro. What else? We covered pretty much, defense. We're looking at
Michael K. Good evening, sir.
ESPN rankings from last, I think it was the week prior. What's your thoughts on that? I know we didn't touch on that as far as being ranked 24th offensively.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
ESPN, they're giving us, before we even started, like 2 days before camp, they were ranking us 24th ranked offensively in the league.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how you could look at this team and remotely think that. Like, that's what drives me crazy about, I am a fan, you know what I mean? And maybe I give the team too much credit at times. But this team with Tua healthy, how do you say that when when Tua played, we were 8th or 9th in offense last year? You know what I mean? Scoring just under 25 points a game. I just don't see it. Would we lose Jonnu Smith? This offense was number 1 in the NFL in 2023 without a good tight end, without an elite tight end. And if Darren Waller gives us any bit of the old Darren Waller, which I'm not counting on, but if he does, look out. Look out. This offense has an opportunity to be tremendous. If this offensive line can gel at all and give Tua some time, can open up some running lanes for HN, like, this offense could be spectacular.
Yeah, man. I just don't see how we can't take advantage of having a better offensive line as opposed to, a struggle last year. I mean, I just see it getting better as opposed to worse.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Big C? What's going on, Cat for Life? What's going on, bro?
What's good, bro? What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? People trying to take me down today, bro, but I'm still standing strong, still keep it pushing, bro, and I'm here for y'all, man. I'm here for Dolphins. I'm here for Dolphins talk. I ain't got time for no petty drama and shit. I'm cool. I'm here, bro. So what's going on, y'all?
Who tried to bring you down?
It's certain somebody, bro, on Twitter and whatever, man. I'm still here. So anybody that got something to say, y'all can stick it up here, you know where. So whatever.
No, man, this ain't the place for that, man. Whatever's going on over there, I don't know what the hell's going on with you guys over there, bro. But this ain't the place. Man. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I my bad, bro. It's just that I was having a rough day today. Just anybody that tried to bring you down, man, just keep going, man. Just
bro. Hey,
but anyways, what's going on, Big C?
Real quick. Real quick, since you brought it up. Am I not a living embodiment of anybody that
you are?
You know what I'm saying? So you'll get over it, bro. Trust me. If I'm here, you get here, bro. Like, you'll be all right.
That's right, Cap. You're right, bro. You're right. You know what? You are an embodiment of that. They've been trying to knock you down. You're still here. So yeah, you're right. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing, man? I don't mean to bring that drama here, man.
Baby, football.
I just wanted
what's caught your eye?
Football.
What do you think? What do you think? The first 3 days of camp.
Oh man, I I heard from I think from Travis Wingfield that James Daniels is doing a good job in run blocking from what I heard so far. So that means that he looks. Oh, I think he was talking about Zach Steeler, that he had a good rep on Zach Steeler and he moved them in the run game. I think they were running like an outside zone play. Um, yeah, I heard good things about that. I didn't really go through the notes today for day three. I saw the Tua pass that he made to Waddle. That was a beautiful throw by Tua. I heard some good things about the edge group. Bradley Chubb is looking like he's getting up to speed. Same thing with Jalen Phillips.
Yep.
He's trying to get back to that form that he was in 2023, 2022. So yeah, man, I want, like I said, bro, like I all I want to hear good things is from the edge room. You know, are they able to create pressure on the quarterback, blitzing? Is the defensive tackle, getting pushed, creating push from the interior? Are they helping the guys on the back end? The same thing with the corners. Like I heard, I've heard some good things about Ethan Bonner and Quick Cater Cole was making some plays, bro. I heard he was sticking to
I didn't even
Tyreek Hill,
mention
bro.
Ethan Bonner, bro. I didn't even mention Ethan Bonner. I mentioned the other guys earlier, but that's another guy too, bro. Like all I keep hearing is good stuff about him, but everybody keeps dogging him.
Well, I mean, we've heard good stuff about, Bonner in training camp before, and I mean, he's got to bring it into the regular season. Cater Kohu, very promising as far as the run blocking or the pressure upon the quarterback from our defensive line. We can't really judge that till pads come on. So, I really believe that this defensive front is going to be able to put pressure on teams, and it's going to make the corners' jobs easier. It's like I said, it's very promising what we're hearing from the cornerback room, though. Cater Kohu sticking like glue to Tyreek. It's a double-edged sword, though. It makes you, is the defense playing good or is the offense playing bad? Is Tyreek lost a step? Obviously Tua's giving him a little bit of the cold shoulder.
I don't know, man. That's the thing.
So
yeah,
when the defense plays good and the offense, they have a good day, you worry about the offense. Or if the offense beats up on the defense, you worry about the defense. So I can't wait till we get to the joint practices. I can't wait till the pads come on. That'll be super exciting. I want to get into the culture change, though, because I was big on saying that the culture couldn't change until we changed quarterbacks, till we changed coaching, till we changed general manager. I just didn't feel like the culture could really change. But the first 3 days of camp, from what I'm hearing, I'm starting to, they starting to make me rethink it a little bit. They pulling Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips off the field to limit their reps. And these guys are over here running sprints on the sidelines they're holding each other accountable. Tua calling out Tyreek, which I don't know if that's the best move.
He deserves it.
I mean, we need
in a way.
I mean, he does deserve it, but I don't know if we need Tyreek to be successful this year. And I don't know. We all know Tyreek is a loose,
but you know what?
To a point.
Big C.
I don't know if we
Go
should.
ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know if we should be, testing that too much. Sometimes keep your business in house a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just for me.
At the same time, Big C, but we got to understand that. I understand that. Go ahead, Cap. My bad. Go ahead. Say your thing. Do you think?
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, like, I understand that, like, Tyreek. I think we should be all upset. Huh?
Now go ahead, brother. All right, Irving dropped out. Go ahead, Cat.
No, it's what he was trying to. I guess what he was getting at is as far as like the
Here you go.
The usual suspect. But go ahead, Erwin.
My bad, bro. I had my thing was my headphones were messing up. I was just gonna say that like I understand like Tyreek as a leader, with the C on his chest should have not kind of like I guess quit on his team the way he did. But you guys got to understand his frustration. Like at that point, I'm not saying what he did was excusable. What he still did was wrong. But you got to understand. I think that we can see his frustration because he's a guy that came from Kansas City. He's known to, he's used to that championship culture, being in, continuously in the playoffs, being in contention for the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl champion. Then when he comes to Miami, he sees that the Colts, that these guys are, he sees that, he sees the pedigree from Andy Reid, from guys like, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So, he sees the pedigree that Kansas City is known for, right? Like Andy Reid, known for being consistently having teams. And he every team he goes to, he turns them around. He turns them into a Super Bowl contender. He has rings with the Chiefs, like Patrick Mahomes, a guy that's a gamer, that's showed up for his team in clutch moments. Tyreek Hill's a guy that's been used to winning. So when he comes here, he comes to a team where, like, we know we haven't been in the playoffs for, we haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. We haven't won a division title since 2008. So, and he's seen that time and time again, that despite the talent that we have, that we consistently come up short. And this is the first time that he, like, really since I think so, like his second year, that he missed the playoffs, right? Or the first time ever that he's missed the playoffs. So you got to be. I don't blame him because he's a winner. He works hard. He's our best player in our roster. So when he sees the Dolphins are not playing up to par, and the guys are not putting up their best efforts and are not showing up in the games. And I'm not saying that Tyreek hasn't shown up, because there's some games where he's dropped passes in the end zone and he didn't show up and stuff like that. But this guy is an elite player, and he wants to win, and he wants Miami to win. He wants to be in Miami. But if Miami doesn't win, and if they don't make moves that can help improve this roster, if they don't be physical and tough and change the mentality, we're always going to be soft, man. So I'm not upset with Tyreek with what he said at the end, because again, he's used to being a winner. He's used to, accustomed to going to the playoffs and always be in the conversation of winning championships. So I don't blame him that much, and I think that's where Mike McDaniel's trying to change things. I know he's trying to, like, put his foot down and be authoritative and be disciplinary. That guy's got to show up on time and to team meetings and stuff like that. But these coaches got to take accountability, bro. Like, it's up to Mike McDaniel to change the culture. He did this by trying to turn our team into a locker room type of environment where guys don't get held accountable. Guys want to kick back and relax, because with Brian Flores was as tough, as difficult as he could be, and as bad as he was communicating with guys. This guy was a tough, no-nonsense type of head coach. He came from a system that wanted guys to do their job and show up and be on time and take responsibility. And that's why New England won so many Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And and when he saw that in Miami, he was trying to set that culture. And when he saw guys that weren't trying to do their job, he'd call them out. And then Mike McDaniel comes in, and then he's like, oh, Mike, Brian Flores shouldn't treat certain players in certain ways like he did with Tua. And it kind of gave us a culture of softness. Because these guys can be whoever they want and express themselves. And like, no, I'm like, listen, I understand these players are professionals. I'm not saying that anybody should talk down on them. But at the end of the day, you got to stop being their friend, and you got to be their head coach. You got to know when to put your foot down and know when business is business. And that's a Mike McDaniel issue. So I'm glad that Mike McDaniel is starting to recognize that a little bit and wants to take accountability. But again, he sometimes, like, there was some moments in this offseason where he kind of blamed the players a little bit, and he needs to take accountability for himself. I'm like, bro, it starts with the coaches. It starts with the front office. like Chris Greer, you're the one who got up there and told everybody that you weren't worried about the offensive line like the fans were. And it came to bite you in the ass when you lost Robert Hunt and you ended up staying with Liam Eichenberg and Robert Jones at left guard and at right guard and left guard respectively. And you couldn't run the ball. You couldn't protect Tua. You had to switch to a dink and dunk offense because you couldn't give Tua enough time to run the ball or to go through his reads and give him time to go through his progressions and make decisions. And you had to get the ball quickly in screens. You had to and also you couldn't run the balls. That's why you had to run so many screens and check down the football so many times. And that's why you had to run these short, quick, intermediate routes or get Jonnu Smith, have him run a hitch route or a quick slant and get him the ball in space and break tackles because you couldn't do nothing else. So you were playing to the defense's hands, right? Because of the way they were playing you, light boxes, no man in the box. They'll just give you everything underneath and out over the top. So and defenses know they press you at the line of scrimmage. They put pressure on Tua. They press the receivers at the line of scrimmage. They know you can't run the ball, especially on short intermediate routes. On short yardage situations. That's a softness issue, and it goes from the locker room and it goes to on the field, because what you have in your locker room, that's what you put out on the field. That's why so many teams don't take it seriously. So that's why the Dolphins through the draft have drafted guys like Kenneth Grant, guys like James Daniels, guys like Jonas Savaiinaea, because they're trying to change the culture and the identity. And Mike McDaniel's trying to change the situation. You know what I mean? Like take more accountability himself. Like, not be such a friend of these guys and be more of a coach. Be more of a disciplinarian. Hey, Julian Hill, if you're committing holding penalties, I want your ass doing sprints. I want your butt doing push-ups. I want you to do 50 push-ups for every holding call that you get, or for every false start. These guys got to be held accountable.
Yeah, I think what's going on right now is that the players are kind of he's empowering the players to lead and to enforce things. You know what I mean? Letting these players, the veterans, Bradley Chubb has taken a real leadership role on this team. And, the fact that they're over there running sprints on the sideline when no one's making them do it, they're just trying to get better for each other. The fact that Zach Sealer's playing, even though he has no guaranteed money left on his contract, I think there's a different feel to this team. I really do. Like, I feel like these guys care more this year. The fact that Tua's meeting Minka down the middle of the field, 40 yards in the middle of practice, discuss what happened on a play, and Minka's breaking it down for him and showing him, this is what I seen, or this is, helping them fix issues right on the spot that they didn't want to wait until they got to the locker room to talk about it. That, listen, I need to know right now what's going on. And the fact that these guys are working hard for each other is great. The fact that Kenneth Grant and Jonah have a competition going to see who's going to be the first one in the building and the last one to leave every day. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And, I've always had great faith in this team. At the beginning of the off season, when we were getting ready for free agency and stuff, I really thought that we were going to go all in because there was key pieces on this team that I felt could make a real strong run at a Super Bowl. Yeah, we had a lot of holes that we had to fill, but I felt like we had great players on this team, some great players on this team. And if we just made the right offseason moves, we could be in a prime position to hopefully go win playoff games and have a real shot. And then we came out and we did absolutely nothing besides Daniels, you know what I mean? And even Daniels was a risk coming off the injury. And, and then I felt a little bit better when we got to the draft, but then we only made two picks in the first 5 rounds, which kind of bugged me, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of holes on this team. And then we still didn't go after anybody after the draft. And I just feel like there was some moves that we could have made to really solidify this team and really give us a shot. And I still have faith that this team can compete with the Bills for a division title if Tua can stay healthy. If a bunch of things got to go right for us to compete with the Bills for the division. Buffalo's got to drop a game or two that maybe they shouldn't drop. But I still have faith that we can be a playoff team. We only missed the playoffs by one game last year, and Tua missed 6 of them. I truly believe if Tua played all 17 games last year, we're a playoff team.
Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, bro, there's a chance that we win all those games in the stretch that he missed. You know what I mean? I think we could have beat the Seattle Seahawks. I think we could have beat the Colts and the Titans. I think we could have beat obviously we could have beat what was the last no, I think it was Seattle. Yeah, it was Seattle, Tennessee, New England, of course, and then the Colts. We would have won that stretch. And I think we would have at least won one of the 2 games. So yeah, obviously we would have met the playoffs. And I think Tua, that's the key. That's the biggest key to this year, is that Tua stays healthy, right? And I think that TV Phins talk, right? He mentioned on the Dolphins collective that if you see basically if you see Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers on the field, that means your season is freaking over, because your whole year is riding on Tua's health, on Tua being available. That's the number one thing. And of course, into his injury history, of course, you want a good backup quarterback position. But the ideal situation is that you don't want to see any of the backups on the field. You want to unless if we're blowing teams out and you're putting Zach Wilson in garbage time. That's the only way I want to see him on the field. And again, the offensive line, there's like you just mentioned, there's a lot riding on. Is James Daniels going to look the same after his Achilles injury? Is he going to be a good enough pass protector? Is Joe Nasavaneo, is he going to hit that rookie curve? Which I don't think he is. I think he's going to be good, but he's still a rookie. He's still got to, learn. He's still got a learning curve he has to undertake in the NFL. So there's a lot riding, bro, and our depth is not great, right? Liam Eichenberg's hurt. He's going to be out for quite a period of time. We signed Brunskill. Brunskill, I don't know what the situation is with him. Supposedly, he might be better than Liam Eichenberg as a backup. There's another guy, in other words, our depth is questionable. Like beyond our starters, I don't trust our depth. So it's a lot riding, bro. Questionable. And our corners, you look at the defense. Who the hell is going to step up outside of Cater Cole? And really, Cater Cole was a nickel. He did his thing on the boundary in moments, but he's a nickel guy. And I like him where he's at. I like him when he plays nickel and he's able to play that sub package linebacker as that overhang defender. And in some instances when he'll rotate as a deep half defender, from the nickel and stuff like that. They use him in these different situations when they disguise coverages. So you could do everything with him. He's kind of like a star, almost like a rover star type of player. And I like him there. Leave him there. I like him when he blitzes. I like him when he's like an overhang defender and he's, setting the edge against the run and stuff like that. Like, I love Cater Cole. But outside of Cater Cole, even putting Cater Cole is kind of a risk on the boundary. Even though he's had some good reps, I'll give him that. He's looked good in training camp so far. But again, we'll have to see what he looks like full time against upper level competition, right? Against other teams that is not Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, right? And outside of that, who the hell, Cam Smith, can we trust him to stay healthy? And number two, he kind of had an up and down season. He's still raw in terms of when we talk about live reps, right? When he's talking about snaps, like last year was really his real rookie season because he didn't barely play any snaps. He only played like 11 snaps, mostly in the Carolina game in 2023 under Fangio, because Fangio didn't trust him. Because when he got burned on that double move by that Jaguars player back in the day, or I think it was by Calvin Ridley, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. It was some other receiver. And after that, we never saw him again. So, and Ethan Bonner, is like he's an undrafted player. Like, that's another risk. Even Storm Duck, he's a man press corner. He's not really a zone guy.
I hate the zone, to be honest. I really do.
Yeah.
I just feel like with a competent quarterback and route savvy receivers, you can always just find a soft spot and sit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's the thing is that a lot of our corners are good in man coverage. Like guys like Storm Duck, guys like I think not Ethan, but BJ Adams, right? He's an undrafted corner. Isaiah Johnson. These are guys that excel in press corner. Jason Marshall is known as being a sticky physical man corner. He's not a great zone guy. Maybe Ethan Bonner can get away with it. Maybe.
I don't want to hear nothing about Ethan Bonner. Like Ethan Bonner can intercept 12 passes during the training camp. Until this guy shows me something in the regular season, I don't want to hear nothing about him, because we've heard the Ethan Bonner stories from it's like Easy E. You know what I mean? He shows out and then gets to the regular season and injured or just, absolutely nothing.
Right.
What up, Glenn? Good evening.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I don't know about this team. Sometimes I think that they're going to do okay. And then I'm like, we'll see when the pads comes on. And we go up against Chicago if the because what I'm hearing is the defensive secondary ain't playing too bad.
Right.
But we always know that the offense gets off to a slow start on every
they always do.
And stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that we'll see what, and then in Chicago game, in the Chicago preseason game, we'll see a lot. Because I believe Chicago will press those. They want the quarterback for Chicago to get off strong. So he'll be pushing the ball down. Yeah. They've been wanting to push the ball down some, and we'll see how it is. Mika's actually probably a good leader for that secondary.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that.
Something that I think Ramsey, you just never see Ramsey last year going and talking to guys and saying, hey, hold up, you should have been here or there or that. And you see that with Mika.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ramsey would bitch somebody out, but I don't think he would try to help someone grow. You know what I mean? He was a player concerned with himself.
Yeah, and Ramsey's always been like that. It's about his stats and stuff and him looking good. Even when he was with Jacksonville. Mika is one of those true leaders in the backfield that can get people in the right position. And we're not, see, you don't have to cover, like be on the guy all the time, but you can't be off the guy and be a bad tackler either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they catch the ball and you tackle them, hey, that's fine. That's part of the game. You ain't stopping all the passes. The stuff that you don't want, stuff that you don't want is the guy catches a 5-yard and runs for 40 yards. That's how you look at a corner and stuff. How many yards he gives up after the pass is caught. Because pretty much
if Gator's playing outside, I think Melifonwu is going to be the slot guy as of right now, if he can stay healthy. That is.
Yeah. I think that Melifonwu, you don't want to have him as a free safety. I think, like you said, Big C, you want him in the slot. You want to blitz him. He's a good blitzer too. Like you want to use him, you want to use him on the like perching, like blitzing. You want to use him in the box, right? As a strong safety. against the run. Like, he's a good run defender. He does a good job like inserting himself in the run fits. He's very good at man coverage too. Like, I like him when he's covering tight ends. Like, he did a good job covering tight ends. I think he did a good job covering T.J. Hawkinson against the Vikings in 23. He had a couple of reps where he lost against George Kittle, but it was like tight coverage. Like, he didn't get burned by George Kittle on something. So I like him. He's a very versatile safety, dude. Like, he could be a buzz safety. He could be a deep half safety. You can put him on in the box, like I just mentioned, like in the slot. You can even put him on the boundary if you wanted to. Like, he could play. He has that flexibility. And even if you go like big, like big nickel, you want to have him in the box or have him in the slot as the star role, and then you want to have like Minkah Fitzpatrick. And if you're going deep, like cover 2, you want to have Minkah Fitzpatrick and Ashton Davis playing the deep safety role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we got
Here's
more
what we'll
talent
have
at
to-
safety than at corner. So, the more safeties we can get on the field at once, the better.
the better. Yep, I agree.
See, here's what's going to have to help this defense a lot: the front seven. The front seven can stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback with 4. That means you can have more people in zone coverage, especially across the middle, and that will help out the corners a lot. And I trust defense Anthony Weaver to put these guys in. That's where my trust is more than anything, is Anthony Weaver. I think he's got
to figure out how to get the three-headed monster in the game at the same time. I think you get those 3 guys on the field at the same time with Sealer and Grant. I think they can do a lot of damage. And Jordan Brooks and Willie Gay Jr., you add those 2 guys to the mix. I think that front 7, front 8 can be dominating at times.
No,
which leads me to I want to jump into this. Christian Wilkins being released by the Oakland Raiders. If Christian Wilkins at some point this season can be healthy, I'm sure he wouldn't be asking for a lot because he's going to get paid from the Raiders. Yeah, I know they're fighting it, but he's going to get paid. Would you like to see a reunion bring Christian Wilkins back to the Dolphins if he can get healthy?
I heard this from one of my guys in Las Vegas. He'd be lucky. I mean, there's videos of him doing it and stuff, but he'd be lucky if he gets on the field this year.
Yeah.
That ankle is worse, or that foot and stuff that he has should have had another surgery, but Christian Wilkinson actually wanted to rehab it without, which is actually adding like 7-8 months to the process and stuff. The surgery, he would have been all ready for training camp, but because he didn't want another surgery, it added like 7 months to the process. And that's what Raiders are fighting right now.
Miller says Phillips should be the 6th man, number 1 rotational piece. Don't put mileage on the guy who is consistently hurt when you have other beasts ready to pounce. Miller, I don't know if I agree with that because Jalen Phillips is on a contract year and you need to figure out if you're going to bring him back. Bradley Chubb, there's a good chance that Bradley Chubb, unless he takes another huge pay decrease, is not going to be back with this team next year.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to see if Jalen Phillips can be what you intended him to be when you drafted him. What was he, number 15 overall? 17, 19, somewhere around there.
Essentially, Phillips is the guy that you either don't give a long contract to or you don't cut. Or not cut, but not re-sign. But you have to find out this year. You have to find out if he don't stay healthy and if what type of contract you want to give him or offer him next year. Right now,
go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry. My bad for interrupting.
No. Right now, it's not that big of a contract. The problem is if he does have a good year, it does go up to like it won't be up in the 30s or 40s like some of
Mhm.
these, but you could get them for, even if he had a great year, you're still talking 16 million, 18 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he had a great year and
Yeah.
stuff, but you have to find out what he has, because if not, you ain't resigning him, you ain't touching him.
Yeah.
And if he gets hurt again, his football years might be over with.
Yeah. I just think he doesn't have any leverage right now. And he has to show that
No.
yeah, he has to get he has to show that he can get back to form. He's coming from two major injuries. He's basically playing for, like you said, he's playing for a contract right now. And he is in no position right now to ask anything from Miami. He has to prove himself.
No.
And even if he has a decent season, if he has like 10 sacks, whatever, it's on Miami's terms to bring him back on a team friendly contract. I'm like, okay, we're gonna give you, this is one good year of production, because Chris Greer, like now the way he's approaching things, he's taking it as a year by year basis. And he's gonna put the pressure on Phillips to say, hey, look, listen, you had a good season. Now you got to do it again. You know what I mean? If you want that money, if you want that top tier money, you got to prove it again. And I think that's the way they're operating right now.
Yeah, but if he has a good year, and he has a real good year this year, if I'm his agent, I'm signing for a 3-year contract, because his NFL expectancy will not be longer than that.
Yeah. I mean, good thing he's just 26 years old, so he kind of has time.
But man, ACL and a Achilles.
Yeah, that is.
That catches up with you real quick. Plus, he still has the concussion problem too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those concussion problems don't go away. So if I'm his agent, I'm pushing for 3 years. Now, it don't be a friendly deal, of course, but I want some guaranteed contract, guaranteed money, so that my payer, if he gets hurt and stuff. Now, I ain't saying all guaranteed up front or all this thing. He probably have like a guarantee over years. Like, hey, he plays this year. If he's on the team next year, he get some more guarantee and stuff like that. And then the following year, like that, he won't get nothing. He won't get no big contract, even if he plays he won't get no 20 or 30 million, even if he plays an outstanding season.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that, I mean, because let's be real. I mean, I'm a Phillips fan, but he hasn't produced up to his draft stock. You know what I mean? Like, he's underperformed even before the injuries. And he was having a nice season when he went down. He had 7.5 sacks in 8 or 9 games. So he was on pace for his best season. But this is a guy that's never had 10 sacks in a season as a number one overall, well, not number one overall, but a first round draft pick. You expect, at this point in his career, that have 12, 15 sacks a season.
But he hasn't played 10 games yet in a season yet either.
Well, I mean, he's played 10 games in a season before. I mean,
his rookie season, he didn't. Okay. He hasn't started 10 games in a season yet.
This is his 5th year, right? So, I mean, his second year, he probably started most of the games, right?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he started that many games. Because the first 2 years, it seems like he came in on third downs because he couldn't hold the edge for rushing.
I think the problem with Jalen Phillips is he always almost gets to the quarterback. He never finishes. And that's a product of him sometimes playing with a high pad level. There's different nuances of why he hasn't gotten there yet. But
Chop's the same way though.
Yeah, I think Chop's going to be a different animal this year. Literally, last year, Chop Robinson, he said it in an earlier interview in the offseason that, last year he didn't come into the season in the training camp in football shape because these guys, getting ready for the combine and stuff, all they're concerned with is running fast. So you break down your body from football weight, from lifting weights, and you just concentrate on running. So this year he's more equipped to have a real Chop Robinson season. And I find it extra exciting that Jalen Phillips is like, this guy has it. This guy could be the defensive player of the year in the near future. Like, this guy is gonna be a beast, and that gets me excited.
Miami still has to find a way to move him around the field, because I remember in Penn State they used to blitz him from the zero, like directly head up over the center, and they used to rush him up the A gap and stuff like that. Like, if Miami can find creative ways of using him rushing, kind of like what the Cowboys do with Micah Parsons a little bit, maybe he can unlock his full potential. But Miami wants to Miami wants to develop him as like a Cameron Wake type of player. Just focus on just rushing the passer and setting the edge against the run. And that's something that, I know a lot of people have crapped on him. People like Omar Kelly and Alain Poupart have crapped on his ability to set the edge. They think, he could do it. If you look at the film, he could do it. He does an okay job setting the edge and making guys, change directions and try to cut back and stuff into the defense, you know what I mean, into the linebackers and stuff. But, and he's done a good job. Like, I think he's going to build on what he did in the second half of the season. Like, you saw a different not Cameron Wake. You saw a different Chop Robinson, in which he was more patient when he would try to, engage the tackle or try to, or when he gets chipped, you see him, showing better balance when he's trying to get beyond the arc, like when he's trying to show bend, trying to get around the arc and stuff. And when, you see that he's added more pass rush moves. And not only that he uses different sets of pass rush moves, nothing too flashy, so, just effective pass rush moves, and that he uses different sets of footwork and tempo, and he uses different, ways of getting to the quarterback. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get my inner reason on it. Call it. He's gonna have 15 sacks.
Me too, dude. He's gonna have a huge year, bro. Because, dude, I
just can't wait.
No, go ahead, guys. No, you go ahead. I'm done.
I just can't wait to see both Chop and Phillips to put those speed rushes on the outside coming in. What do you do? I mean, they have some of the quickest first steps. Both of them do. Now, I don't know. Phillips lost that step with that. Hopefully he didn't. But, man, they both could bend those tackles. And I just want to see them both bend at the same time.
Well, they're going to bring. I think they're going to bring someone behind Kenneth Grant, because Kenneth Grant's going to demand a double team. I'm telling you, Kenneth Grant's going to demand a double team. You run a little stunt and run that pass rusher right behind Grant and Sealer, and something's going to open up, and you're going to be able to eat their lunch right in the middle of the field. And quarterbacks aren't going to be able to escape to the outside because the other two pass rushers are coming around the edge.
Phillips, I actually think Sealer had 10 years in 10 sacks. I actually think Sealer's numbers are going to go up even.
Is it Kenneth Grant?
Because of Phillips and Chop pushing the pile forward, pushing the quarterback forward.
Dude, I think Kenneth Grant is gonna eat up so many double teams. And he's going to push the pocket, and he's going to allow Sealer to get one-on-ones and allow the edge rushers to finish. Because, again, I'm not saying I think Kenneth Grant is going to be like, I'm not saying he's going to be like an elite pass rusher year one. He's going to be a guy that's going to be able to like contain the pocket by eating up blocks and letting, Chubb and Chop and Jalen Phillips get more chances at the quarterback. Even Sealer get more one-on-ones and not get so many double teams. He's going to be able to knock the football down, push the pocket, to make the quarterback uncomfortable and roll out, or force to make bad throws, knock the ball down at the line of scrimmage, do things of this nature to truly make these, make an impact on this defense, to truly feel his presence. And he did that a lot for Michigan. Like if you saw what Kenneth Grant did, right, rushing from the zero, right, playing as a one shade opposite side of the center, like playing as a 2-eye, a 3 technique. I mean, the way he would create so much disruption, right? Like he would shut down the run, make teams one-dimensional, and then as a pass rusher, and you saw him the way he played with Mason Graham, right? Who some people compared to Zach Sealer. Like, I think that when the Dolphins watched that tape of Kenneth Grant from Michigan, they saw Mason Graham. They saw what Kenneth Grant, like, oh, okay, you don't have to imagine. You saw the exact what you wanted to see. You saw a comparable player in Mason Graham play what it was like to play with Kenneth Grant, and now you're going to see that with a much better player in Zach Sealer that's going to play next to Kenneth Grant, and you're gonna have a line like Michigan that's able to create a lot of pressure and collapse the pocket and allow the ends to get to the quarterback. And that's what we want, right? We want a defensive line that's capable of creating organic pressure where you don't have to blitz as much, right? And you give these guys time, and they're still going to blitz, but you're going to give these young corners, less time where they don't have to block guys on an island or guard their zones. Like they know that the front line, the front 4, the front 7 are going to get the quarterback to make bad throws, rush the decision making, make bad throws, and they're going to get those traps. All the corners got to do, even if you have Cam Smith and Ethan Bonner and guys like Storm Duck and stuff. All they got to do is stick to their assignments, be in the right position, and you're going to get interceptions, bro. I'm telling you, Kenneth Grant used to do that for the Michigan to get back in. So
I feel we don't get more quarterback strips than we will interceptions.
Yeah, I don't
like stripping the quarterback. Those two guys coming back in their division.
Right.
I just have a feeling we just don't have a lot. Miami don't cause a lot of quarterback strips and stuff.
I don't think we're going to ever see the full potential of Kenneth Grant's sack potential or pass rushing potential, but you're going to see the guys around him.
Exactly.
They're the ones that are going to blow up. I do want to take a second. I do want to take a second. Sorry, guys. And you can feel how you want to feel, but listen, I was a kid in the 80s, and I grew up a big pro wrestling fan. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, man. Hulkamania. Like I said, he's made some bad choices in his life, but no one, I see people, don't rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, because of, what I mean? Like, he has family. Listen, you know what I mean? People make bad choices, and I don't think Hulk Hogan was a racist. He might have made some racial comments. People have bad moments. You know what I mean? People have bad moments, but rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
Let me tell you how I look at Hogan. Let me tell you how I look at Hogan. You had Bird and Magic change the NBA. You had Tiger Woods change golf. Hulk Hogan did the same thing for wrestling that Bird and Magic did for the NBA, and Tiger Woods did for golf. They changed it from a little local TV stuff to a national broadcast. He's the reason
Hulk Hogan
why
he's responsible for why wrestling is a global phenomenon now. Like, Hulk Hogan, without Hulk Hogan, there would be no Dwayne Johnson. There would be no. These guys were wrestling in bingo halls for dollars.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Pennies on the dollar. Hulk Hogan was the first true superstar of wrestling. probably the greatest of all time as far as the whole shebang. I think he was the greatest wrestler of all time? No, but his
No,
impact
he's not
on
the greatest
our
wrestler.
wrestling was.
And Big C, I think we lost a lot of great ones recently, right? We lost Hey Chico, Razor Ramon, we lost
Outlaw.
Psycho Sid,
Yeah,
dude. We lost we lost too many great wrestlers in recent times, bro. Now Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest entertainers of all time. I mean, he changed wrestling, not just wrestling, wrestling as a culture. What we think about wrestling, we think about The Rock, we think about, Stone Cold, we think about Hulk Hogan. He's on the what do you call it? He's on the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. And again, you can say what you want about him as a person, about what his political views, what he said in the past.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not one to comment on that. I'm not going to do that because he's dead. Doesn't matter. But the guy was since he was a sensation, he was a superstar. He there was a lot of fans, man. He made wrestling great, and he was the face at one point of WWE or WWF, whatever you want to call it. So rest in peace, Hulkster.
Hey, people don't know this, but him, Hall, and Nash actually got these people guaranteed contracts that they get now that they didn't get before. Because of the NWO, when the NWO came out and stuff like that, those three got guaranteed contracts, and that pretty much started the big time name people getting guaranteed contracts.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's because they signed, and these wrestlers, I couldn't do it. They wrestle 3-4 times a week for $200-$300 a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was crazy what they used to do in the old days. They used to get like $100-something a show and be hurting everything. And when they got those guaranteed contracts, it changed the way wrestlers get pro wrestlers get paid. So
definitely changed.
You're saying that they made the way for like guaranteed contracts and stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Because they didn't get them in before 94, 5. They didn't get guaranteed contracts.
Dude,
they got paid by show.
Wow, that's crazy. My favorite moment in Hulk Hogan's career. I mean, there's a lot of them. But one of my favorite moments was in WrestleMania 18, right? When he was part of the NWO, and it was not the main event, right? He was seen as he was the heel, right? He was part of NWO with Razor Ramon and Big Daddy Cool Diesel and all these guys. And when The Rock was there to take him on, Toronto was booing him, right? Toronto was booing The Rock, even though he was supposed to be the face. So. So The Rock started playing off. I'm like, you know what? He told Hulk Hogan, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play off the crowd, and we're gonna switch. So I'm gonna be the heel because they're booing me. They're going for you because you're the whole, you're the Hulkster, you're the Hulk Hogan, and they started treating him like the baby, like the face. And it was just so cool. It was such a great wrestling match, man. Like The Rock versus, Hulk Hogan, because it's like it's like a matchup that only you could imagine, but it actually happened. And then you see at the moment, you see when NWO turns on him and they start attacking the Hulk, and then The Rock, who was supposed to be wrestling Hulkamania, and this was like I think after the Hulk beat after The Rock beat the Hulk, right? Hulkamania, Hogan, and that after The Rock won his match, the NWO attacked him, and then The Rock came in and kind of like it was defending Hulk Hogan against the NWO, and then The Rock won, And then The Rock, instead of taking praise for the victory, that he's praising he raises Hulk Hogan's hand. He's like, yeah, like he's kind of like getting the crowd to praise him and stuff. And that was such a great moment, man. And that's when Hollywood Hogan came back, right? That was the end of Hollywood Hogan. And then it became the return of Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I think, and then The Rock became the heel. He became the heel. He became Hollywood Rock. I think that was such a great storyline, bro. And that was like the best moment for me. That was the best moment of the Attitude Era.
Man,
One of the best moments.
I remember. You know what's funny? I went to movies to watch Hulk Hogan fight
Rocky 3
against what?
Oh yeah,
Rocky 3.
And the third installment of
Rocky.
Rocky, yeah. I remember going to the movie theater and watching that and stuff. Didn't even know who Hulk Hogan was at that time. Because at that time, remember, we had 3 stations, 3 TV stations, and every kid used to watch wrestling, but we were watching at that time the Nashville or the Memphis. It was the Memphis wrestling at that time with it had a lot of the King Lawler on it as kids.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we didn't get to watch too much of Hulk because he came out of Texas. And then he went to that movie, and then soon after that, before that, really, I guess. And then he was you had WWE on Monday night or Tuesday night or whatever night it was on.
We're losing everybody talking about wrestling.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace, Hawk. But let's get back to the Dolphins here for a minute before we're the only 3 people in this mo. All right, so Glenn, let me get your guys' opinion. I'm gonna take you off here shortly. Do you guys feel any differently about the projections for this team after the first couple days of camp, or you still need to see a lot more? Are you feeling more optimistic? What up, Joe?
Hey, what's up, Big C? Spidey.
I would feel optimistic. Oh, go on there.
Hey, Joe,
I'm
what's
sorry
up,
about
man?
that.
Oh, it's all right. I was just saying hello. Go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, I would feel optimistic if I actually see them. I want to wait until the pad's on because the offensive line, what I'm understanding, is get blown out. But you expect that because there's no pads, and it's kind of hard to block with your no pads. It's kind of hold your own and stuff. I really do. I really would like to see the offensive line start taking charge and start dominating the defensive line sometimes.
I agree,
but you ain't gonna see that until the pads come on.
Yeah, I'm with Glenn there. And Big C, I was gonna say no to your answer, especially because we don't have the open access yet. So like when we get reports of like people doing well and stuff, we just kind of have to like guess at like what the play looked like. So I'll wait till we can actually see them moving around and like Glenn said, with pads on against other teams and refs and everything. But I will say I do feel better about the team at this point in the off season than I did at the start of the off season. I was doom and gloom in February, March. And I feel like Greer made good moves this offseason. Like we made all the right moves. We drafted the right players, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know about all the right moves because I feel like we need some depth on that offensive line. And it's great. It's great what we're hearing about the cornerback position, but
we got caught with our pants down with Ramsey, in my opinion. Like I don't think they would have retained Fuller at some capacity if they had known Ramsey was on his way out.
Well, Fuller's still available, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, and then, which I think he may be like a late season grab if that's the case. I think he had some sort of injury or something.
He's still healing from that last year's
which may work out
injury.
For him. That may work out, be like a late addition if someone does go down or if we're
I actually think Miami don't wait until some cuts come
Yeah.
wait or trade and stuff, and they'll pick up a couple offensive line and men. And I ain't talking starters, but they'll do backups and stuff on corners and offensive linemen. Because right now you have Elam that is backup, but he's hurt, so he's not even getting to practice. He's on the pup. And then you have that new guy, which ain't been good, but hopefully he could practice behind your tackle, so he gets reps on that. And then after that, you really don't have anybody.
Yeah, I don't think we can improve the offensive line as far as starters, but we can obviously do some stuff to make sure that when one of these guys inevitably go down for any amount of time, that we're better equipped to not fall off a ledge. You know what I mean?
You need 3 depth pieces, and we have like 1.5.
Yeah.
Isaiah Wynn is still available. Like, go get him.
Hey, everybody's been saying that guy that's playing center's not looking too bad. But then again, without pads.
Have you guys heard anything about the UDFAs? Any excitement or plays or news or anything?
Not too much. I heard a little bit about BJ Adams.
Yeah.
He's doing an all right job, but
that's what I'll be looking for. Conyers, Armstrong, some of those.
Armstrong's got some guaranteed money, so out of the wide receivers,
he was like that was like the first guy.
I'm sorry.
I like to see.
I was just saying, how much is Armstrong getting paid? The receiver.
I mean, it's not crazy, but typically undrafted free agents don't get the amount of money. I think it was like 250, maybe 1,000 something. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. No, for an undrafted guy, ain't bad.
For an undrafted guy, that's huge.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
did
want to see Jordan Phillips. That man, you guys seen how big Jordan Phillips? I bet you he's closer to 400 than 300.
He's like 243 pounds right now.
Not 200.
Phillips. If we hit on those Maryland guys, that's going to help us tremendously.
That nose tackle.
We
got in the field.
Oh, you're talking about Jordan Phillips. My bad. I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, I still don't think Jordan Phillips is that big.
He's like 302 pounds, I think. He's
Zeke Biggers. Zeke Biggers is the biggest one of them guys.
Yeah, I think you're confusing him with Biggers.
Biggers is the biggest one.
Yeah, he's the Georgia Tech nose tackle.
Right. He's like 290 pounds.
That guy was huge. He was like 350, 360. I was like, God damn, that dude's big.
I want to address this.
Jordan Phillips is 305 pounds. He's 6'3", 305 pounds.
I want to address this comment.
That's the defensive end.
I want to address this comment in the chat, and I don't know how to say the name. Maybe you guys can help me out. The Balake.
Yeah.
Says you got welcome to the. I've never seen you on here. Welcome to the show. You guys think Tua has reached his ceiling? Blake. Okay.
Oh, that's like that Key and Peele skit where they're pronouncing names like they're more than they should be. Balake.
Yeah, Blake. All right, that works. That's easier. You guys think Tua has reached his ceiling, or can he improve in areas he struggles in? Listen, I think that Tua's biggest hurdle, the biggest thing he struggles with, is a mental thing. I think it's more mental than physical. Yeah. I think he's obviously reached his physical.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Too. Yeah.
Mentally, I think if Tua goes out there and beats a top team, I think it's going to open up the floodgate for his confidence, and we're going to see a different Tua in the bigger games.
Yeah, I think what you said, Big C. I think what you're gonna get I think what you're gonna get from Tua physically. I don't think you're gonna see any more from what you saw from last year in terms of his mobility and his ability to extend plays and escape the pocket. And his arm strength, it is what it is. Like he has average arm strength. You know, he has enough arm strength to make most of the throws in the NFL as long as he's on time and he's within schedule and his
Yeah,
mechanics are good and
he
things of
can
that
set his
nature.
feet.
But
He can
but
set his
I
feet and all
think
that.
it's a good thing. Yeah, that too. But I think it's a mental thing. Like if you can get the Tua that you saw against the Chargers, right, where he took over that game, or Baltimore, or you get the Tua from Buffalo, right, from Week 9. If you could get that Tua consistently on a more consistent basis, this team is going to be hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Tua I want to see.
I want
The
to.
Tua against the
I want to see
Lions, the way he
Tua.
took over that game. I want to see that Tua more consistently.
Yes.
I want to see Tua where after his first, second read that he could still relax and be able to look on the other side of the field and use the whole field.
You need an offensive line for that, Glenn.
Yeah, and that's what I like to do. Have an offensive line
To pop through
protect them more.
the pop through 4 reads without running because
Yeah.
some Mack trucks are coming after you. You know what I
Because
mean?
if you notice in the games that he struggles, within the first couple of plays when he's passing, he will get pressure on him real quick. And when he gets pressure on the beginning of the game real quick, it like affects him the whole game.
Tom Brady
If
used
he
to be
doesn't-
like that.
Yeah, it does. And what happens is you have to be able to say, okay, that was a bad play. Let me trust my line again. And it's hard to do when the first couple plays you're getting pressure on you all the time and stuff. So now you're scrambling to hurry up and get rid of the ball, and that's where he runs into his problems.
See, I actually don't think that's even necessarily the issue. I think that Tua hears the outside noise more than what he portrays. Listen, he obviously had a confidence problem before Mike McDaniel got here. He's admitted that he looked in the mirror and questioned, am I good enough playing the NFL? Brian Flores broke him down. So he's not the strongest mentally. And I feel like he goes into these games and is like, damn, can I not win in the cold weather? Damn, can I not beat good teams? And I think it really eats at him. And we've seen him play good against good teams. People get it messed up. Tua has some games where he's performed decently against good teams. This is a whole team mentality issue. The whole team has a complex where they don't believe in themselves when they go to play elite teams, and they make the most innocent and stupid and just mistakes that are so pedestrian, that plays that they should just make. You know what I mean? Dropping passes that they would catch 99 out of 100 times.
You know what I would like to see in this preseason? Tua doing audibles. Him being able to do audibles and change the play at the line of scrimmage.
And I think, Glenn, that's more of a thing where I think that's a McDaniel responsibility.
Yes.
Are they, is McDaniel going to run that many motions that as he's accustomed to? You know what I mean? And not so late to the snap. Can they get the play out more faster? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Can they get out the plays out in time instead of like within 10 seconds when the clock is coming down? Then you got to run your motions and make sure everybody is at the right spots. And then Tua's got to know what shell the coverage is in. And he doesn't have time to read the defense and then just change the audible. That's an offensive problem thing. That's not a Tua thing. So if they can get the plays out more in time, they can still run their motions. I'm not saying that maybe if they reduce a little bit the amount of motions that they did, and I think they did that last year. I think they ran less motions last year. If they can get it around the 70s, maybe the 60s, 70s, and in terms of percentage, if they could get the plays out faster in time and they can run their motions, maybe Tua can have the time to audible. You know what I
But
mean?
here's if you listen to all the quarterbacks, the great quarterbacks in the past, they say that their coaches gave them able to do audibles in preseason because that will make them know how to think more like a coach.
But Glenn, he's not saying that's the issue. The issue is that the play, there's too many.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
too
I
many,
understand what
there's
you're
too many fidgets to a play. That this
Yeah.
guy's got to go in motion, then this guy's got to go in motion.
This
And
guy's got to shift it.
by
Yeah.
time Tua gets to see what the defensive look is, he's got to snap the ball because there's 1 second left.
Yeah, Miami should be at the line at 24 seconds in the clock. The bottom line, that's where Miami should be at, on the line of scrimmage, and ready to go at 24 seconds where they could do everything they want. Because I'm tired of them going down to 2-3 seconds and then having to call a timeout because damn, they ran out of time.
Yeah, part of that's on McDaniel too. He doesn't get to play in time.
Yeah. But all in all, boys, is that we gotta run the football. Like last year, I mean, we got to stay healthy because Austin Jackson, we got to make sure that James Daniels returns to form before, because again, PFF I think had him as like the best run blocking guard in football in the first 3 or 4 games into 2024. Like he was one of the best outside zone blockers, like and run blockers overall. But he has to stay healthy. It depends that he goes back to his pre-Achilles form. Austin Jackson has to stay healthy because after Austin Jackson, suffered that injury in week 9 when we lost him after Buffalo, we were never the same. We couldn't run the ball as effectively. Like Julian Hill, I mean, Pharaoh Brown has got to look like he was in 2023 when he was the 9th highest run blocking tight end in football, according to PFF. He's got, Julian Hill's got to have a renaissance in terms of his blocking game, because last year he was committing way too many penalties, whiffing on too many blocking assignments, and he was losing at the point of attack. And you got to get better. Now, you did improve by upgrading on Robert Jones and then putting Jonas Avanaya at left guard if he's going to play there, and Robert Jones, and James Daniels at right guard over Liam Eichenberg. And Patrick Paul, that's another thing. If we're going to run outside zone effectively, he has to be able to run block. He has to be able to climb the second level and frame his blocks well when he's getting to the second level and not whiffing on blocks. Like, he has to get better as a run block overall and his down blocking and stuff. You got to be able to have good tight end blocking and good run blocking up front in order for those running backs to get those lanes and be able to run the football effectively. And not only that, you got to be able to run the football between the tackles effectively and efficiently. You got to be able to run, get away from some of the outside zone stuff and get more physical, run more power gap, run more trap, run more, inside zone, force the defense to crowd the line of scrimmage, to commit an extra defender in the box, play them out of that cover 2 shell, stop getting them to just stay on light boxes, get them to commit an extra man in the box and force those single highs so that when you're able to run the ball effectively, you free up the middle of the field, you get the single high looks you want, you force the defenses to play man coverage, and guess what? You open up your play action is more effective. You can do your RPOs more effectively because you're able to run the ball more efficiently. And that's when your deep game opens up. So that's a key. Offensive line, running game. And then when that works out, Tua will play better because he's not going to have so much pressure on him. And you're going to help him, you're going to balance off the offense, but you're going to help him with the run fakes. You're going to help him free up the middle of the field, things of that nature that I just mentioned,
Are you guys concerned with the lack of deep pass attempts? Obviously, last year, teams were playing us with 2 deep safeties, but they've said in training camp so far that none of the quarterbacks have attempted any passes over 20 yards. And I feel like that's something that you still got to work on with timing. Are you concerned that, maybe Tua's hip is more an issue than what they're letting on? and that Tua can't necessarily get the torque that he was getting before?
I think the hip is going to be fine. I think he's going to find a balance between not getting so heavy, because I remember when he got stronger, right? When he was working on getting heavier and stronger, you saw the arm was better. He had more zip on his throws. Like he had like more, he could throw the ball further when he was bigger, when he was heavier. And then when I noticed when he lost weight, the arm strength kind of suffered a little bit. But again, that's just, nitpicking. I thought like it obviously is the way that defenses were playing with us with two high safeties. They were just comfortable with giving up everything underneath. We couldn't run the football to set up the play action game and all this other stuff. I think Tua's hip is fine. I don't think Tua's hip is going to be a problem. I think he's 100% healthy. Obviously, if he protects himself and slides instead of when he scrambles and throwing the football away when he doesn't, there's nothing there, stay healthy and he's going to be fine. And I think that hip is going to be fine. I just think that the problem with the deep ball was because they couldn't run the football.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If they can run the football, this offense goes back to being a top 5 offense in this league. Yes. 100%. 100%.
And another big thing is you got to be able to run, bro. You got to be able to convert on short yardage situations. Enough of the screen game, enough of these short, quick passes to try to get a first down. Run the ball, and you got to be physical. You got to be able to convert those short yardage situations on those to convert those third downs into first downs. Get in the goal line and finish. You got to be physical. That you have to find a balance between the finesse game and the speed and the athleticism, the ability to create spacing, but also be able to run the football effectively.
I still question, though, why we're not practicing it in practice, though. Like, why are they not throwing any deep balls? You know what I mean? Like, why are we not experimenting with that more? Why are we not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not attempting any? None? Zero?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Because that's definitely something you got to get timing down. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think they're trying to get the short and intermediate passes nailed down first before they start working on the deep ball stuff. Like everything that they're working on now is vanilla stuff. Go ahead, Joe. What were we saying?
I think Mike McDaniel's going to hide everything. I think he's going to be like showing us in training camp and preseason, basically where we left off play wise. But then when the season starts, we're going to uncork some shit.
Right.
He got stale. And I think that's why a big reason why we struggled so much is because everyone caught on and they started defending us properly. And plus we lost some pieces that we should have replaced properly, but like he can't go stale again. He's got to get creative. So I'm expecting something that we haven't seen before. And that's why we brought him here, right? He was that, creative offensive genius. Let's see it.
And I think we got to be super aggressive on the offensive side of the ball because of the lack of depth at cornerback, because of the lack of proven players at corner. If we can go out and get a lead and force quarterbacks to have to drop back and pass the football, and we can just let these pass rushers that we got pin their ears back and go for it, I think that would greatly benefit this team.
Right. And I just think that, I mean, like Travis Wingfield has been pointing out, like some of the offense, Tua's been hitting guys with anticipation touch throws over the middle to Waddle and Hill on these in breakers and crossing routes over the middle. You're hearing reports of Waddle getting like 15 to 20 yard gains and Hill the same thing. He even commented like some of the reps in day 2 look like 2022 and 2023, right? Like that's always going to be a staple of the Dolphins offense. Like it's not just about the deep ball. And yeah, don't get me wrong. I think that's a very important identity because we were the number 1 deep ball passing offense in 2023. But I think that Mike McDaniel wants to get back to those explosives. You know what I mean? Like getting those 15 to 20 yard throws over the middle of the field on those in-breaking, bang eights, glance routes, stuff like that. But I think he's got to find a balance between that, running the football, and hitting those outside throws that Tua is comfortable with. Not necessarily like these deep outs, but you know those type of those type of routes that Waddle likes to run against outside leverage, and then he runs like he's going inside, and then he fools the corner like he's gonna funnel Waddle to his safety help, and then Waddle kind of like shakes him out of his shoes by getting an outside release, and and Tua makes the throw, from the numbers to the hash mark, not really opposite hash, but like hash, like same hash, number to hash mark. You know what I mean? Like he did against Buffalo. That throw that he made against the Jaguars, that deep throw, that deep 20-yard throw, like so throws like that Tua can be comfortable with, where he doesn't have to like use like all the arm strength, throwing from opposite, hash. Like if he could make like same hash throws on outside numbers, that they'll kind of find a balance. You know what I mean? To not be so predictable. Like try to implement some throws outside the numbers that Tua is comfortable with, so you can balance that out with all the in-breaking routes, of all the timing patterns over the middle of the field and running the football. And not only do you run the outside zone, but again, if you run the ball between the tackles effectively in the power gap and inside zone and duo, bro, you can free up the outside zone, because you're going to get the defense to concentrate in the middle, right? Because they're so focused on stopping the interior, the interior run game, and then you get them with the outside zone, and you get the defense to swing side to side. You know what I mean? So it's all about variability. It's all about having diversity in your offense and not doing the same thing over and over. And I think Miami's going to use a lot more 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver sets this year to stretch the defense out. I think I see Tua going more empty, more spread, to get a little bit, create more spacing. And that's where you get the deep ball. I think that you're going to get more attacks in the middle of the field that way. So, yeah, man, I think that's what they're going to do this year.
They need to change the scheme, bro.
I think the scheme is fine, man. The scheme is good. You just gotta be physical. You just need some diversity.
I want to know what Minka was telling him yesterday, that he was mimicking his. Yeah, he was telling me. Minka was telling him something. Remember, Joe? What was it? Like one of his cadence.
Yeah, he was making some sort of demonstration motion to him with Minka showing throwing motion with his left hand. So he was either like critiquing or giving Tua some sort of tell or something that he can recognize. Yeah. He was correct. He was talkative about his throwing motion.
We got to switch it up, man. Because if it's coming to our guys starting to do the same thing and tell him, it's time we start switching it up, man. We have to. If McDaniel is the guy we think he is, bro, and he can unlock Tua, bro, give him a different set of keys, bro.
I think Cap. I just think he's just trying to give his perspective to Tua, right? Yeah. And trying to help Tua. Like, hey, listen, I'm seeing things this way, so I'm kind of trying to give you the perspective of a safety that you could face during the regular season.
I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I understand, but guys, we've had Charlie Fry try to do it. We've had John Beck try to do it. We've got Slowick now that we're hoping can do it. We got Bevel, and we got Smith, and we got McDaniel. We've had so many guys get in this guy's head to try to critique his style of play. It's about time we start focusing on the team and the philosophy we need to establish with our team offensively. We're hoping and praying that this timing accuracy offense is going to work all the time, and we know it's not going to work all the time going vertically down the field. Horizontally, we're making completions like crazy and padding up the stats and making it look good, but we're not getting in the end zone.
Right.
One thing that Tua said about Fitzpatrick that you should keep in mind is that he said at Alabama, Fitzpatrick was like a mentor to him. And so he may be trying to kind of follow that same path again here on the Dolphins.
I hope so. We need leaders, man.
Like I said, I just think that Minka Fitzpatrick is trying to show Tua something that maybe Tua hasn't seen yet. And like, hey, if I'm rotating down as a Tampa inverted 2 robber, you should do this, whatever. Like he's just trying to give them advice. I think that's what it is, and maybe that goes back to Alabama, where they did the same thing, and Minka was trying to see, trying to show Tua what he sees from his perspective, in order to show Tua, in order to kind of like help Tua read defenses or help Tua see coverages that probably hasn't seen yet. You know what I mean? Maybe at this point he's probably seen every coverage, but still, you know what I'm trying to say?
Man, he's seen it all, bro. You know how many guys have like disguised plays just to get to him or drop off because they know he's gonna throw a pick. Like they know.
But
They know.
I think it's not coverages.
Sorry, I don't mean
also leverages.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. No, you're good. I got to run to the store. I can leave it on here so you guys can keep chatting.
Yeah, we'll keep bullshit.
Yeah, come back.
All right. Sorry about that. I got to get to the store before they close, though.
All right.
All right, brothers.
See you.
Later.
Yeah, I think it's I'm with you, Irv. I think it's like a perspective thing. He's like, hey, let me give you like the safety's perspective on what just went down on that play. Something about like maybe Tua's got to tell that he picked up while he was at Pittsburgh, and they played against Tua. Maybe he something that I almost called him Flores. Tomlin had been pointing out.
That's right. Flores was there before. That's right. I completely forgot that.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Holy crap!
Yeah, he was the linebackers coach or the senior.
So that Steelers team was probably locked in on being able to defend. Like they probably
told him, bro. Flores told us everything, bro. You need to do something different. He probably did tell him that shit.
So now maybe
maybe he did say that, Cap. Maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe now Minka's showing him like how teams, do tape on Tua and like what they've seen, and if he has to tell, it could be really important.
Yeah, and if he's telling him Flo knows something, that's gonna piss him off even more.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I think it's good. Like, I don't think a QB is ever really too old to be developing. Maybe once you hit 10 years or something, you don't want him taking cues from people. But like, if you're gonna have a long career, I think even 5 years, being a 5-year vet, I think you're still willing to take advice from anyone, especially a teammate that we brought in to be a leader. Like they probably to put on that, air a little bit. Like they told Tyreek.
If you guys got questions in the chat, bro, give it to us, bro, until this guy comes back, bro, because we're gonna run out of material pretty soon unless you guys want to talk about Game of Thrones.
He said he went to the grocery store.
Yeah, probably to get
to go get some milk. That's what.
Bro, if he's going to the store and it's close, he has 7 minutes to 37 minutes.
Right, probably. Oh shoot, my bad.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys saw the uniform teasers that came out for both AFC East and NFC West.
They're what, Nike affiliated, right?
Yeah, it's the Nike rivalries. So they announced what ours is in a month, late August. They'll be releasing.
You guys think it's like a black and aqua jersey?
I think it's going to be like what my logo is right now, because that's what their social media has been since the schedule release. So I think they're going to do either like a black or like a dark gray or something kind of like that pattern I have on the background and an electric steel.
I think they're doing all white.
Imagine, hell no, bro. They'll piss me off.
All white. I think they're doing all white with that logo you're talking about, Joe.
I think we wear the uniform against the Jets. And do we know what the Jets are going to be yet? I don't think any of them came out.
I really think it's going to be all white, bro, with a big aqua freaking logo.
I hope it's a dark gray or black. I would buy one. I don't know if I would get a white jersey. I'm pale as fuck, so I don't normally buy white anything.
Gosa, both. It says, Beth says, we got a teaser that will be titled Winter is Coming for the Bills.
That joke
From what I'm seeing, Joe, from what I'm seeing, I'm seeing like a black helmet with aqua dolphin. Like it's like a black dolphin, but with the aqua like sun and aqua outlining.
What do you mean? You've seen
That's
like
what
a comic
I think.
or something?
Yeah, I'm seeing
Hey,
it on UniWatch. I'm looking at UniWatch,
They have
hey,
which
even their employees signed like NDAs to not be able to talk about it.
yeah.
hey.
They-
Speaking of, speaking of Pittsburgh, you guys saw what happened with Johnu Smith?
What happened with him, bro?
Day to day,
Oh
foot
my god,
injury.
jeez. That's, uh, telling you, bro.
What's Darren
Telling
Waller?
you.
He's coming back healthy.
30 years back in, bro. You don't want to pick up this. I don't know.
Our tight end room is goofy.
I saw they were talking with what's his name? What is it? Jonah Hill? What's his name?
Julian Hill.
Julian Hill. Yeah, talking to Julian Hill.
Hey, some people are like when they revealed the jerseys, the new rivalries, they were like, "F that, man! Just bring back the throwbacks, make them permanent."
Yeah, I don't understand what's the hesitation, bro. If they know everybody likes it, why don't you
I
give what the?
know all the
I
players
don't
do,
get.
bro. I mean, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Tua. I mean, everybody. They all love the throwbacks. Come on, Ross. Come on, Stephen Ross. Please, can you do it? Like, get rid of this logo, please. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, bro. Hey, there was a clip that somebody sent me, bro. Oh man, I wish I could play it for you guys. It was from the Levitard show. The guy, the guy starts asking. He's like, you know, I've always been wondering ever since they changed the new logo format. And how is it that the Dolphins in today's age, where everybody's worried about concussions, have a dolphin logo with the dolphin not having a helmet on? The guy the guy made me think about it. He was like pretty much like, and then you got him with the old logo wearing a helmet with the letter M, but we don't. That's
Oh,
not our team. So who does that dolphin play for?
They should bring it back and put a Guardian cap on it.
He had me balling, bro. I'm like, damn. He's like, true. All the old logos got different characteristics, but it had the helmet on it. You know what I'm saying? This one is like in a day of age, and everybody's talking about concussions. You got the dolphin with no helmet, bro.
yeah, I was
No
gonna
more
mention
whale
something.
design.
Man.
No more neon. No more neon dolphin colors. No more whale design.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna mention something, bro. I was gonna ask you some cap, and I forgot, bro. Like,
Bro, that's
oh,
how it
big.
is, bro.
How's
If you
Bigo
start
doing?
to struggle, the first thing you do, hey, change the logo. Go get a new uniform for these guys. Calm them down.
Yes, I know. So, hey, so Cal, how's Big O doing, man? How's he been?
Bro, I
I haven't
haven't
heard of.
watched the show in so long, bro. I be watching bits and pieces because I be working and stuff, bro. But yeah, pretty much he's like saying don't depend on anybody to save the Dolphins, bro. Like he is like he's like forget it, it's done. Gosa, tell me I'm wrong, bro. Gosa knows. He's laughing. He knows.
So he's giving up on Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer.
Last time I saw the clip, bro, it was bad, bro. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Well, crap, it's been bad for what 6-7 months already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. We gotta change that mentality, man. 'Cause it's bad becoming the brunt of a joke, bro. It really is, bro.
Yeah.
The only thing that can change is
He's,
us, bro.
yeah. For years he's been talking about the Dolphins. No matter who they are. I mean, he got kind of apologetic with with Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel on a bash, a Flores bashing fest and all that shit. But yeah, he usually calls out the shit. He usually calls them out he's been mostly right with the Dolphins and stuff, and calling them on their BS and stuff. But
So, you think we dodged a bullet with Christian Wilkins?
yes, I mean, like of course, in hindsight, yes, we did. I mean, you got to remember, Christian Wilkins was always a durable player, but I think that him being like a 90% snap player, like a 90% snap player, like all those years that he played, like he logged 1,000 snaps almost every year, and I think that caught up to him. Or it could just been a freak injury. I don't know, bro. Like, but I think in hindsight, yes, we avoided a total disaster by not giving that guy money. I think the Dolphins did right.
Yeah, that's when you gotta give the thumbs up to Greer on that one. Hindsight's 2020. Playing the result now. At the time, everybody was pissed off, but yeah,
Yep.
man, 5 games, dude. I keep hearing 5 games is all that guy played, man. And then you got people wanting him back. I'm like, bro, no. At the time, yeah, I wanted him. You know what I'm saying? But not now. F that. No way, bro. I mean, even though it's a Greer special, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it made signing Zach Sealer at a 3-year, $30.75 million contract with $17 million guaranteed and an $8 million signing bonus. It made it seem like a bargain and you got 10 back-to-back sack seasons out of him. You know what I mean? So you got to thank your lucky stars that you were able to sign Zach Sealer, a guy at a super cheap price, because he's getting paid. He's getting paid like a middle of the road defensive tackle, and he's the only player in the NFL with back-to-back 10 sack seasons, and he's one of the premier run defenders in the league. And he's probably, to me, one of the most underrated players in the NFL, bro. And they were not gonna pay Christian Wilkins, and for some reason, like he's a guy that played a lot of snaps, and he was gonna be 30 soon, and the Dolphins weren't rolling that. He was asking for way too much money. Like Chris Greer was willing to pay him like $22 million a year, from what I heard, but he wanted more. And Chris Greer was like, "Look, listen, I have my price, and I'm not gonna go beyond that. I'm on a budget." And Chris Greer, Christian Wilkins didn't agree, and they moved on. And remember, Christian Wilkins was being represented by Athletes First, and they're known for getting players top level contracts. You know what I mean? So yeah. So in hindsight, 5 games. Was it a Robert? What was it? What's the fracture called?
What, the injury?
Yeah.
I don't know. Something with his foot or his toe or something, bro. Man, I just all I know, man.
He might never be the same again after that fracture.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like if it's feet and toes, that's like a touchy type of area, bro. Especially if it's like if it's the big toe or near the big toe, or you know what I'm saying. It's just then you're playing with like equilibrium type of stuff.
Right. Yeah, man. I just think that we in hindsight avoided train wreck. And I know a lot of Dolphin fans want to hire. There's some Dolphin fans out there that want to bring him back, but for what? Like the guy that's not. There's a chance that he's not going to play this season. Also, you drafted Kenneth Grant, and it's going to make drafting Kenneth Grant look like a waste. So no. I think the Dolphins did good, and I've heard that Jordan Phillips has had a good camp so far, man. Like, nah, man. Jordan Phillips, to me, he's a good nose tackle, bro. Like the guy has a wrestling background. Like he understands how to play with leverage, and he's strong as an ox. Like the guy was on Bruce Feldman's, college football's freak list. Like he deadlifted like 358 pounds, squatted like 650 pounds. Like the guy's strong as an ox, and he's gonna be your guy to possibly replace Benito Jones. You know what I mean? So I think we did good, man. I think we got 2 studs. I think we found potentially 2 studs at the defensive tackle position. Got 2 guys that are physical and they got heavy hands and they got knockback power, can push the pocket. And stuff the run and blow up the run and all this other stuff, and make quarterbacks uncomfortable in the pocket.
That's what we need, man. I mean, if we're worried about the DBs and their position on this team as far as being solidified as starters, if we
Yeah.
have that interior front pressure, bro, to make those opponents' quarterbacks get spooked and throw early,
Yeah,
then you know what I'm saying. That's all we need, bro. The linebackers step up. Jordan Brooks looks freaking huge, bro. He looks humongous.
that's right. Yeah, man. Jordan Brooks, bro. I was watching his tape today, and dude, he's so instinctual. He knows how to, he has good diagnostic reading recognition ability. Like the way the guy just like looks at the backfield, looks at the back, reads the flow of the blocks, the way he avoids blocks, or he's able to like scrape off guys and shed and just stuff the run gaps way. He's able to like, blow up screens, and he's even had some really good pass reps and man coverage and where good reps where he's playing the hook defender and he's taking away intermediate routes and stuff like that. And he's a good linebacker, bro. I think he's been the best linebacker we had since Carlos Dansby's been around, and Tyrus Bowser, he had a couple of interceptions for us. He played good too. So I think like the guy is. I think we got a good linebacking duo. We got a good front seven, bro. I think our front seven is the best since we had it in a little while.
How old is Brooks?
Uh,
Like, are we keeping him around long? Like, is he going to be here for a minute?
Who is that?
Somebody who got a computer? Somebody fact check that in the chat. Jordan Brooks.
I don't even remember where he's from, like team or college.
I know he's from Seattle. He played for the Seattle Seahawks, but I forgot what college he played for too. Sure.
Okay, he went to high school in Houston, went to Texas Tech from 2016 to 2019, drafted in 2020, 27th pick by the Seahawks.
In the first round?
Yeah,
I had no idea he was a former first rounder. I thought he was just some dude.
He looks good, bro. He was a steal for us last year. I think him, Aaron Brewer, and Clyde Campbell were three of the best free agent signings that Chris Greer had last year. Brewer was he played almost every snap last year, and he was rated as one of the best. I think he was rated as a top 15 center in pass pro when he was rated one of the worst centers in 2024. Sorry, 2023, excuse me. And I don't know what ranking he was as a run blocker. I know he was like somewhere in the top 10.
He went one spot before Patrick Queen and 3 spots before Noah Igbenogany. I wonder if we had been looking at him. I don't remember who we had at linebacker in 2020, but I wonder if we had looked at Jordan Brooks initially.
Yeah,
probably did.
Who was it? Was that still Jerome Baker's time, right? 2020.
How long's Channing Tindall been here? 4 years?
Good. I think he's been here. Ezekama and Tyndall were the same year, right?
Yeah. So if it was Baker's been here he was here for almost 8.
Was he really? Jerome Baker?
Yeah.
And he got drafted in 2018. He's from Gase. He got drafted by Gase. And Chris Greer, of course. Anyways.
I get so into these drafts that I tend to forget 3 years back where
you see Aaron Brewer was rated, he had a 74.8 grade in 2024 overall, which was 8th among 64 qualifying centers. So he was ranked as a top 8 center in football in 2024. And then his run block grade was 75.8, which was 9th among centers. And he had a pass block grade of 70.2, which was 15th among 64 qualifying centers. And he played over 1,000. He played 1,139 snaps, which was first in the NFL.
So which games did he miss? Which games did he miss that Eichenberg started?
He didn't miss any. I don't think he didn't miss any. Eichenberg didn't miss any games. He just rotated between Isaiah Wynn and himself at right guard.
But didn't Eichenberg play center at some point?
Sorry, last 3 games. No, he didn't play backup center. I don't think he played backup center at all last year.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure, but don't take my word
Can
for
we
it.
fact check that, please?
99% sure. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Or was it the
No.
year prior? I know he played center at one point, or somebody got hurt. He stepped in.
He never
Leo?
played. Maybe for one rep, maybe for a couple of snaps, but no. If Aaron Brewer played 1,139 snaps, that was first in the NFL. I don't think he missed any games. I think Liam Eichenberg focused on right guard, and then in the last 2 games he rotated between Isaiah Wynn and himself. And obviously, when Isaiah Wynn was there, Miami got its best run production of the season against the 49ers and against the Jets, like where Achane ran for over 120 yards and a touchdown. He averaged I think against the Jets, he averaged 11 yards per carry, and against San Francisco, he averaged over 7.
Did Connor Williams ever go down? Did someone fill in for Connor Williams?
Yes, that was Liam Eichenberg.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Backup center in 2023. He did an okay job. He did pretty solid. Like that year, he was a solid he was a solid, except for Buffalo. It was a disaster.
Offense is playing. It's like it didn't matter.
He did some backup right guard when like Robert Hunt went out and Connor Williams would come back into the lineup after his groin injury. He played some backup right guard, and then Robert Hunt came back, and then Connor Williams went down with an ACL tear, and then Liam Eichenberg was the backup center or the starting center for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Arrivederci, cosa nostra.
Channing Tindall was 2022 draft, by the way.
Yeah, 3rd round pick, Georgia. Well, and you know what the crazy thing is, Joe? He went 1 pick. He went 1 pick ahead of Leo Chenal, who is one of the best.
I wanted him too.
Yeah, he's one of the best young linebackers in the NFL. He's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. So there you go.
Yeah, I do feel like we sometimes expected more out of Tindall than his pick 102 like value, just because it was the first pick of the draft for us. Like we kind of treated him like a second round in our opinions, but I mean he really hasn't contributed much even for a 3rd rounder.
Bro, I mean, maybe on special teams, but I can't even say if he did play special teams.
Yeah, you know who else was a 3rd rounder and even higher pick was Hunter Long.
Yeah, Hunter Long got traded to Los Angeles for Jalen.
Yeah, did he even ever have like receptions with us?
Not really. I remember the one thing I remember from him is that he was running an out route, and Tua was late on the throw, and Tua got picked off, and he got returned for 6 by the nickel corner. Yeah, I forgot his name. He's picked up Tua like 2 times in his career. But yeah, he that was the only play I remember Hunter Long do, because Hunter Long was he was non-existent. He just got drafted because in reality, like Flores, he was a Boston College alum like Flores, and Flores drafted him. I think that was a Flores pick, and it just kind of went wrong, but whatever.
Man,
we got Jalen Ramsey or Hunter Long. That was kind of highway robbery. Even if Jalen Ramsey didn't stick with us, like that's pretty impressive.
Man, I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna check y'all boys tomorrow.
Me too, man. I gotta get out of here. All right, Joe, Cap, y'all.
Joe, Irvin,
man.
easy.
Be easy, brothers. And Big C, shout out to Big C. Before I leave, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps, the channel grow. Show, Big C got a great show. I think he's got the Phins Posse podcast and Game Changers. So catch them in the morning. I think they go up I think they start their shows like on 10 o'clock in the morning. That's about like 11:30. So make sure to catch them in the mornings. And sometimes they do stream at night. and they're cool. They let us hop on the panel. So shout out to Big C, shout out to Phins, the Phins Posse podcast, Game Changers. Y'all have a great night, and Fins up, football's back, baby.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace.